Hey everybody, it's Alex Miller at Capnion here. To give you guys a bit of a silly tautology, I personally think it's very important to freak out the right amount in the right way. And in a lot of conversation about artificial intelligence, of course, what people are anxious about is, will I have a job? The fantasy is there's going to be mass unemployment because robots do anything. I strongly want to push back on this idea that robots are going to replace people. They're going to be a complement to people and increase their productivity. And where the freak out the right amount part comes in is no, it's not going to be true that there's mass unemployment, but there will be weirdness and pain. And if you're interested in weirdness and pain, I go into some detail in some of my other videos. But in this one, I'm going to tell a story about continuity, and things probably end up fine after a little bit of weirdness and pain. So let's do a thought experiment. You're somebody who works with a tool, in the broad sense of the word, to make shoes. What year is it? This could be true of somebody or other as long as shoes have existed. A long time ago, I guess you can pick any kind of long time ago you want. But let's just go back right before industrialization. It would have been a pretty simple tool. You would have been called like a cobbler, I guess. And you would have done most of the production yourself all the way through and sold the shoe. Later, somebody made a machine that could do a lot of the work you were doing really well. And that changed things. So if you're somebody working with a tool to make a shoe today, you might be a worker in a shoe factory. But we can still say this sentence about this job of you work with a tool to produce shoes. And what changed is that actually your productivity just got way, way higher. And any given person working on making shoes, because they had better tools, you can make a lot more shoes. And that all by itself is great. And in this, you can still see why there's pain, but you can also see why there's good things that will probably help us escape from the pain. So, going back in time to when you're a cobbler, when this new machine appears, not as many people need to be cobblers, and you can't be a cobbler in the same way and compete. So, some people are going to migrate to working in shoe factories, and other people have to find new jobs. So that's the weirdness and pain. It's not fun to reskill. It's definitely not fun to lose your trade and have to move on to something else. But once again, well, now we're really good at making a lot of shoes, and shoes are cheaper, and a lot more people can buy them. And probably eventually, in the end, that translates into higher incomes for the people making the shoes in some kind of real terms, real goods and services as well. Those people probably got some extra money. They probably have something or other that they could collaborate with you that they would like to pay you to do now that you're not making shoes anymore. And this is exactly what happened. There's a lot more service jobs after things industrialized. A lot of the same people working making shoes just went from one kind of gig to the other, and some people had to move to a different gig. To bring it all together, well, it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be the world can stay totally the same. It's not going to be that you can work in the same job forever without having to reskill. But there's a lot of history of automation that will tell you the story of what the future is going to be like, and it's not all bad. And there's really kind of, once we get there, there's a lot that's good about it. Productivity is great, and I think not replacing, but a complementary device enhancing productivity so workers can do more of the same stuff better and faster that's really the story, and it's all right.